Howdy. Um, as with all of my streams, I like to start a little bit early, like 5 minutes or so. Um, Prove my point, I just had an issue with OBS, but I want to make sure that my connection, that I have everything set up correctly, and that my stream connection is good before I start in on this. Um, so approximately 5 minutes before the start of the stream official start, which is 8 o'clock, is when I'm going to lead in with this. And with that said, I think that's not what I meant to do. All right, here we go. Yeah, I'm live. But here we go. This is son of a biscuit eater. Do it again. Here we go. Hi. When I was in graduate school and we wrote papers, thesis or whatever we're doing, I used index cards. And the index cards were sort of guideposts, you know, headings, if you will, about chapters in my thesis and about an introduction, a question, a hypothesis, a discussion, some analysis of data collected, how the data was collected, all that stuff, and then a conclusion. Storytelling is very much the same way, but a question that I've had is, how do you write a novel? I think anybody interested in writing a novel starts from that. How do I write a novel? I mean, you can do it like Michael Crichton, who is an MD. He had a medical degree from Harvard and brilliant man. Or you can do it like Stephen King, who does the same thing. That is a pantser. Fly by the seat of your pants. Sit down and write and figure out your story as you go along. The problem with that, if you're not a Michael Crichton or a Stephen King, is plot. If you just start writing, it's very susceptible as a pantser, fly by the seat of your pants, is to have plot holes along the way. One way to avoid that is to plan. And I'm not saying be a type A personality where you have to plan everything in advance and you have to know every nuance of the story. You still have to seek out those things, but you have to have guideposts. You have to have headings, if you will. And if you think of a plot, a beginning, a middle, and the end, a 3-act play, right? A beginning, a middle, and a conclusion. But also, you should probably put some other things in there, like a pinch point, about 30%. So if a midpoint is 50% into your story. So, at 30%, you have a pinch point, and at 70%, you have a pinch point. On either side of the midpoint, 20%. So somewhere around there. A pinch point really is just a point in your story where we are reminded of an antagonist who has an obstacle in place for that inhibits the objective of the protagonist, our hero. That's basically what a pinch point is. And then on either side of that, on the closer to the midpoint on either side is a plot twist. So the midpoint is sort of the aha moment. If you want to think of a beginning, a middle, aha, and then an end, everything is good. A happy ending, okay? The midpoint is the aha moment, but prior to that, there's a pinch point and a plot twist, the aha moment, and then another plot twist, a pinch point where we're reminded of the obstacle, we overcome that, and then the end. So 7, if you will, 7 places, 7 steps in our plot that we have to fill in. And I think if you know the beginning and the middle and the end, the other things are fill in the blank kind of things. But where do you begin? And that's the question that I'm writing tonight. And I invite you to write something of this nature, to think about it. If you've not done this before, this is sort of like a sit down, shut up and write. It's just me tonight. But I hope that in the future you can join me in the comment section and we can discuss it. But what I want to talk about tonight is, where do you begin? And I think, oddly enough, you begin at the end. When you write a book, a story, you know where you're starting from. And I'm not saying write the ending, but when you think about the plot, about your story, if you're like me, So many stories up here, they're all rambling around. I have a lot of stories that I want to tell. And there are those stories that, you're screaming to get out about what you want to say to the world about what's important. What's the moral of the story, basically? But you start at the end. When you write your outline, and yeah, I think you should write a basic outline, even if you're a pantser. If you fly by the seat of the pants, you still need to know where you start and where you end and where those significant points in your story are, even if you're Stephen King or Michael Crichton. I think Michael Crichton and both Stephen King and Michael Crichton kind of say, I don't know where this story's going until I write it. I think Stephen King said that. But, I respect Stephen King as a writer. He's got some good stories. For the most part. Some of them are weird, but they're good. And there are other, Nicholas Sparks, who is one of my favorite authors. I like Nicholas Sparks because he has really good plot twists and surprises in his stories, and he uplifts the soul, which is my intent. So if we start at the end, when you write the beginning, the middle, the end, and then you do a pinch point, plot twist, pinch point on either side of the midpoint, you got, 7 parts of your story, right? Write the outline of your ending first. That's where I know it's odd, that's where you start. Write your ending outline, then write your beginning. Where does your protagonist, where does your hero end up? And how do they end up at the end of your story? And where do they start? And then the other stuff is fill in the blank kind of stuff. And those are your guideposts. Those are if you want to think of them as stakes in a tent, of a circus tent. The circus, everything happens under the big top. And under the big top, you have stakes, stake posts where you put your tent on top of. Everything occurs under that. So think of those points of your story as placeholders for your story, because everything that happens in your story happens within those tent posts, those stakes. And if you have those stakes set out beforehand, then filling in the blanks and filling in the story is just meat and potatoes. Okay? And tonight I am drinking Starbucks cold brew coffee. And I apologize. My wife had my wife suffers from severe intestinal issues with a cancer treatment, a previous cancer treatment some years ago. And a few days ago, she had a severe reaction. And I was kind of delayed because I kind of put off some things because I didn't want to get started and not pay attention. My wife needed me. I'll put it bluntly. And, we avoided going to the ER, which is a good thing. But when I sat down and sit in the chair downstairs, that's where I have my MacBook, and that's where I write. So I can put on my headphones, and if my wife needs me, she raises her hand. It's like ringing a bell. And that's what we do. So I have not been on here on the channel, but what I'd like to do is to do this every night this week. Tonight's Monday. It is Martin Luther King Day. Happy Martin Luther King Day, Mr. King. I enjoy the message. I hope you did too, of the I Have a Dream speech. If you've not read that speech recently, I suggest you read it. Anyhow, with that said, I think tonight, it's a 20-minute session, a 10-minute break, a 20-minute session, a 10-minute break, and a 20-minute session, an hour writing total. So we're talking, with everything, probably 90 minutes maybe, from start to finish. But think in terms of your plot. Start, middle, and end. Think about your ending. With that, there's the music cue, and I did reach out to Epidemic Sound, and I asked them, can I play the music without my tap, 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 tappy, tap stuff? And I got the response that is yes. If you can find the description, if you don't, if you just want to listen to the music while you type, I have the playlist links in the description. I also have a referral link to you can sign up for 30 days of free Epidemic Sound. Check it out. This is some of the music that you can listen to on Epidemic Sound. I do not like the new age kind of stuff. I'm kind of raw. If this bothers you, listen to other music or listen to silence, just mute it. The timer's on the screen here. I'm going to get busy. Let's go.
Sometimes I forget to breathe. I'm looking in your eyes. Wish you could see the things I see. I don't wanna wake up if I'm dreaming, because you know I can't get enough of this feeling you're giving me. Don't wanna wake up. I don't wanna wake up. Don't wanna wake up without you, baby, without. I wouldn't know what to, baby, without you. I wouldn't know what to, oh you know, oh you know, oh you know. I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't know what to do. Around your finger, tell me what you wanna do. I think we're part of something bigger, and now my mind is filled with you. Oh you know, oh you know, oh you know. Oh you know, oh you know, oh you know. Baby, without I wouldn't know what to, baby, without so you think you were right? Bring it on, prove me wrong. Go put up a fight. The way I do will knock you down. You know there's an ocean between us. Don't go cry about it. Don't go cry about it. You want me to take you in my trust. I'm wearing you out. Keep on keeping on every night. Way up in the clouds. The way I do will knock you down. You know there's an ocean between us. Don't go cry about it. Don't go cry about it. You want me to take
It's live.
You got to give it up, give it up. Give it up, give it up. I bet you think that I should calm down, and that I'm overthinking everything about you, and that we're good the way we are. But I don't know that much about you, what things you like and what you don't. It's not that long since I met you for the first time. You know we should work it out. You know we should work it out. Before I'm too invested, I should probably ask you all my questions, get to know you better. Like, can you be trusted? Will you take me for granted? And will you let me down? I know I'm feeling something for you. The way you look, the way you laugh, and how you move. It kinda makes me go crazy. But we should take it slow, work things out so you don't let me go. When I come real close, I don't wanna get hurt, 'cause I'm not ready to give you my heart yet. Before I'm too invested, I should probably ask you all my questions, get to know you better. Like, can you be trusted? Will you take me for granted? And will you let me down? Before I'm too invested, you should take it easy. Maybe we could test this and work out our feelings. Baby, will I love you? Tell me, do you want me? And will you let me down? Yeah. La 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 la. La 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 la. 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 Before I'm too invested, I should probably ask you all my questions, get to know you better. Like, can you be trusted? Will you take me for granted? And will you let me down? Before I'm too invested, you should take it easy. Maybe we could test this and work out our feelings. Baby, will I love you? Tell me, do you want me? And
sick of love songs, I'm tired of this, and I wanna tell you straight just like it is. You're watching me like you want me, but you're still holding back, still holding back. Honestly, you're annoying me with the way that you keep playing. Show me your love like it is, like it is. Bend open my heart like you're fearless. Steal all the gold you can get, you can get. Show me your love, leave me breathless, breathless. I'm out of patience, I'm out of feels, but I guess I'm waiting around for something real. I'm going crazy, like what's the deal? 'Cause I want you to show me what you feel. You're watching me like you want me, but you're still holding back, still holding back. Honestly, you're annoying me with the way that you keep playing. Show me your love like it is, like it is. Bend open my heart like you're fearless. Steal all the gold you can get, you can get. Show me your love, leave me breathless, breathless. Show me your love like it is, like it is. Bend open my heart like you're fearless. Steal all the gold you can get, you can get. Show me your love, leave me breathless, breathless. Wish I could say I was finally
This is one of my favorite songs.
That's not the truth.
This is falls in with his story that I wrote.
I don't understand. Maybe it will pass by. Someone save me before I pass out. I'm too lonely to be done. I'm a drink at this place. Yeah. Why am I the only one who's left in the rain with nobody to hold on to? Ooh. Why am I the only one who's feeling this pain when there should be two of us? And yeah, I know we both wanted different things, but letting go just comes easy to you, don't it? Why am I the only one who's left in the rain? If I had an option to be someone else, I would, and let go of you. I know that I'm obvious, fuck it, I'm made this way. But why didn't I stay when I had the chance? Maybe it will pass by. Someone save me before I pass out. I'm too lonely to be done and I drink at this pace. Yeah. Why am I the only one who's left in the rain with nobody to hold on to? Ooh. Why am I the only one who's feeling this pain when there should be two of us? And yeah, I know we both wanted different things, but letting go just comes easy to you, don't it? Why am I the only one who's left in the rain? Wish I could say I was finally over you, but that's not the truth. Why am I the only one who's left in the rain with nobody to hold on to? Why am I the only one who's feeling this pain when there should be two of us? And yeah, I know we both wanted different things, but letting go just comes easy to you, darling. Why am I the only one who's left in the rain? So full of self-confidence, and everything you said made a lot of sense. I thought I was too cold to ever love again, but every single word cut through the rain. We see the distance grow, I just need to know, do you even feel the same? I'm living in your messages, I'm closer to you there, I guess. Living in your messages, every day now I confess. I hear your laughter from within. You can light up any room without going in. Funny how just a few letters in a row can turn into a smile.
Okay, 10 minutes on a break. That was a really good exercise for me. I only wrote 400 words, but I didn't write a story. I'm taking my own advice. I'm writing out the plot. And what I did is I wrote those 7 stake posts, if you will, what I was talking about earlier, the beginning, the middle, the end, pinch point, plot twist on either side of the midpoint. And I'm filling it in. I wrote the ending first, where I want my protagonist to be. And then I wrote the start. And actually that story is now gelling. It really works. And if you've not done this before, I would highly suggest you do it. Is write those stake points out first, and then think about if you have a protagonist, a story, some germination of a story, write out the ending, and then write out the beginning. And now I'm filling in those holes of the plot. That's what I'm doing tonight, is I'm filling out the plot, the stakes of this story, where the story will occur under this tent, this circus tent, a clown show. I don't know if I should call it a clown show. It's a love story. I want to put it that there's only like 7 stories in the world. And they're all told, maybe 6, but they're all told different ways. There are different mechanics of telling a story, but the basic precepts of stories, of what's the moral of the story, is love. That's what I want to tell, but I want to tell it in a in a spiritual way about a man who has seemed to have lost everything, is redeemed, and gains everything. That's where my story is. So, if you watch this, this is the genesis of my story. Maybe in 6 months from now, when I'm done with it, and I send it off to a publisher and I get rejected 25 or 30 times, somebody will take a chance. And maybe it will be published. And maybe if you read it, this video is the genesis of this story. And it's a story of, I want to say it's a story of a supernatural sort of a twist to it. I haven't got to the plot twist yet, but what I have got is the ending, the beginning, and the setup of the characters. I don't have the character names, but I have the character personalities of what they have to go through and what is the protagonist's goal. The broken man. The man on the broken road, if you will, who has lost everything, who thinks he's lost everything, and he's shown something and is redeemed. And that's where I'm going with that. So, like I said at the beginning of this little exercise, where do you start? You start at the end. And I think that is a very useful way of looking at a story, or building a story, of building or filling in the blanks of the story, of the characters, the clowns in the clown show. Who's in the circus tent, and in what order do they appear on the stage? Because of the stakes that we've set down, and they're all performers on that stage. So, I need more coffee. I drank my coffee. So, I have Starbucks cold brew that I got from the grocery store that I'm drinking. Just cold brew, straight coffee. I guess I could drink water. I've drinking 2 of these things of cold brew coffee, and it is now 8:30, 8:40-ish Central Standard Time in Texas. And if I drink any more coffee, I'm going to have a hard time going to sleep. So maybe I will start with this. My water. Water. I'll clean my coffee out. Oh, yeah, that's dirty water. Ooh. Nothing like coffee flavored water. Yeah, I can drink out of the bottle, and I know people have some people have a disposition against plastic bottles, but you know what? It's convenient. All right. Now, what else do I want to say about writing? I think when we write with a purpose. And I say that, you start at the end, and it's the moral of the story. What is it that you want to tell the world? What is it that's important enough for you to write? And I think of Michael Crichton, and I think of Stephen King, and I think of Nicholas Sparks, and, some screenwriters, and Night Shyamalan, and, there's a whole bunch of creative people. Whether it's writing fiction, or nonfiction, if you will, but fiction stories with a moral, or whether you're writing a song on a keyboard. A songwriter does the same thing. You're telling a story of something that's emotionally important that you want to communicate, or whether you're painting, because all of these are just modes of communicating emotion. And which is why I'm using epidemic sound for this exercise. Like I said, I wrote to epidemic sound. I think in my previous live stream prior to this one, I had my keyboard tap, 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 because I don't want to be accused of like a radio station. This is not a radio station. I'm not, the purpose of my live stream playing music is not to live stream the radio. It's to help facilitate you thinking and writing. And if you don't like the music, mute it. That's why I'm including links to the playlist in the description, because I think I'm a big firm believer the music that you listen to when you write will influence your writing. Not only, the secret to good writing is good reading. If you don't read good books, you will not write a good book, right? Correct? The same thing though, but when you write, I think it's really important that you think about what you're writing and what influences you when you're writing. Everything in your life. What you're drinking will influence what you're writing. Coffee, water, whiskey. One of the three. They will influence what you're writing, positively or negatively. And with that said, I think I'm about 30 seconds out. I'm going to put on my earphones here, and we're going to get started again. I have a midpoint outline, very basic. I have an introduction, very basic, and I have an ending that is evolving. Start with the ending. Back to it, 20 minutes. Okay, so that's the end of session 2. That's 40 minutes down. About 800 words. Again, I'm not writing a story, I'm writing a plot. And this plot, to me, the story, I'm taking the time tonight to write, well, to follow my own advice. And I'm actually liking this story. I still have the plot twist to figure out because I want to add, the antagonistic obstacle. What do two people, okay, you're in a relationship with someone, okay, what is an obstacle that is most common to two people having a relationship? Easy answer, it's a third person. It's a previous interest or someone, an interloper, someone who interferes in a relationship. And that's where I am. Nicholas Sparks, I'm thinking of Safe Haven, which is a really good movie and a really good book. But the plot twist in there is that the antagonist in that story is a cop who is an abusive former lover of the protagonist, Julian Huff, in the movie. And when you think of that, that builds up to the climax. And if you want to think of the plot twist, the plot twist would be, the kid who falls in the water. I mean, there are some other things that happen, and not to mention the fact that the deceased wife of the love interest is the influencer of our protagonist. So there's some plot twist, you have two people in a relationship, you have a helping plot twist with a deceased wife, and an antagonistic plot twist with the former lover. That's in the Safe Haven. But when you think of, beginning, the middle, the end of a story, and where do those pinch points and those plot twists come in? Whether it's the alien or aliens, with Ripley on an alien planet, and they figure out, there's an alien on somebody's face, and all of a sudden they implant, and then it scurries off into the ship. I mean, that's sort of a plot twist because they can't find the alien. What happened to the alien? Then it infects somebody else, and then one pops out of somebody's stomach. I mean, that's kind of gross, but it's a plot twist. It's a complication, an obstacle. I'm not writing a science fiction novel of that horror genre, but the same concepts apply whether you're writing an uplifting story, a Christmas story, a story about hope and redemption, or a story about horror. So what I'm thinking is, when we're talking about plot and what it means to develop a plot, I think this is a good exercise in thinking about where to start. It's been really helpful for me tonight. I hope that this exercise has been helpful for you. I realize I still have 20 minutes, and I still want to fill in these remaining stake points, or the stakes for this circus tent that I have for the story. It's still important for me to finish that, and I'm going to do that. If not tonight, then tomorrow. But at least I will have the circus tent built. And then it's a matter of character development. It's a matter of recognition, of filling in the blanks of everything else. And I think that's if you want to say, that's what you get when you develop a story between a pantser, somebody who flies by the seat of their pants, and a planner. I don't want to be a planner. I don't want to be a pantser. I want to have guideposts. I want to know where the story happens, and I want to know what the limits are, what bounds my characters to them, to what they need. The protagonist has a goal. The antagonist has a goal. And is the antagonist the love interest of the protagonist, or is it something else? And that's where I'm developing that right now, because I think it's something else in this story. And like any good story that you're thinking about, especially when you develop something like this, I think that it's important that you sleep on it. And yes, I think listening to music is very important when you're writing a story, whether it's uplifting music, happy music, but it has to tell a story. It helps you tell a story. It helps you bring out those emotions, because music is another form of an emotional communication. And I would say that when you write thinking about that. Some people write in silence and they do great work. I'm not going to, that's okay. Some people like being in a library. I like getting books in a library, but I don't like reading in a library. I'd rather read somewhere else, When I write for work, I like to write. I have to have, maybe that's why I like to write to music. I have to have white noise. It drives my wife nuts when I do this, but I like, especially on Fridays when Ancient Aliens is on, I can have Ancient Aliens in the background and I can write. And then, when it's something, wow, that's kind of cool, and I can stop for 5 minutes and watch Ancient Aliens, and wow, that's very interesting. I never thought of that. Yeah, I know it's kind of a distraction, but it helps me. It helps those mind juice flow to helps you think. It helps you think of a different perspective, and I think that that's a good thing. Don't be so rigid in your thought that you can't put yourself in, have some empathy. Put yourself in those shoes of your character. That's what you need to do. Is think, what would my character do? And you don't know until you live your character's life as your character and as your antagonist. Why would my antagonist do that to my character? My character is a good person. My character is a hero. My character wants to do the right thing for the right reason, even if it's difficult. That's the story. That's the dilemma. And I think that I hope will help you in this final 20-minute session, is to think a little bit more, spend some time thinking about writing a story within those guideposts, within the circus tent, and fill in the blanks. And that's what I'm going to try to do with my pinch points and with my plot twist on this final 20 minutes. I may not finish tonight. I may, after this session is done, I'm going to take a break get ready for bed, do my nightly chores, and then I might sit downstairs with my MacBook and I might write some more. I'd encourage you to do the same. Tomorrow night, I'm going to do the same thing at 8 o'clock. And now I'm going to put on my headphones and we are in 20 minutes. So here we go.
Yo me muero por una prueba de placer. Siempre que estoy a tu lado, lo que siento, nadie más lo podrá saber.
Cool song, by the way.
Y sin censura, yo te hago todo a ti, dulzura. Que para eso vente, yo solo cuéntate. Y si tú quieres te pone a buscar. Es como tú lo mueves, rapa, pam, pam, haciendo locura en la mañana. Si alguien te pregunta, no ha pasado nada, solo amaneciste en mi cama. Dale, bésame, ven y atrápame. Hagamos jueguitos que de chiquito no pude hacer. Dale, bésame, ven y atrápame. Que ahora adultos sabemos bien lo que vamos a hacer. Tu piel caramelizada y el pecado pronto voy a cometer. Esa voz tan delicada no demuestra lo que tú haces con mi piel. Vamos y sin censura, yo te hago todo a ti, dulzura. Que para eso esto yo solo cuéntate. Y si tú quieres te pone a buscar. Es como tú lo mueves, rapa, pam, pam, haciendo locura en la mañana. Si alguien te pregunta, no pasa.
Had an epiphany.
En mi cama. Dale, bésame.
Don't you love it when that happens, when you have an epiphany in your writing and you go,
Hagamos jueguitos.
aha, yeah.
No pude hacer. Dale, bésame, ven y atrápame. Que ahora adultos sabemos bien lo que vamos a hacer. Estás en mi zona, cosas que nunca decepcionan. Pero es mejor bien arrechado, no vamos pa'l hotel o pa' otro lado. Como dice Balvin, esta vaina no acaba. Estás en mi zona, cosas que nunca decepcionan. Pero es mejor bien arrechado, no vamos pa'l hotel o pa' otro lado. Y como quieras, mami, yo estoy a tu lado. Dale, bésame, ven y atrápame. Hagamos jueguitos que de chiquito no pude hacer. Dale, bésame, ven y atrápame. Que ahora adultos sabemos bien lo que vamos a hacer. Dale, bésame, ven y atrápame. Hagamos jueguitos que de chiquito no pude hacer. Dale, bésame, ven y atrápame. Que ahora adultos sabemos bien lo que vamos a hacer. Dale, bésame, ven y atrápame. Hagamos jueguitos.
I need more water.
No pude hacer. Dale, bésame, ven y atrápame. Que ahora adultos sabemos bien lo que vamos a hacer. Sabemos que quieres es bailar, mi amor. Ella quiere farra, farra, farra. Farra, farra, farra. Ella quiere farra, farra, farra. Ella está soltera, no tiene alguien que la amarra. Farra, farra, farra. Farra, farra, farra. Ella quiere farra, farra, farra. Ella está soltera, no tiene alguien que la amarra. Ella quiere farra. Llegó el mariachi con la guitarra, por lo que se narra. Su mejor amiga es la barra. Como Colgate me pone bien clean. Dame tu Facebook o dame tu pin. ¿Es el comienzo o será el fin? No me importa porque ya me dice quién. Siento que tú y yo sentimos lo mismo. Nos ha cuadrado como si fuera algoritmo. Te vuelves loca cuando escuchas mi ritmo. Ella se eso no es lo que vale. Solo disfruta, seamos normales. Yo soy la cura pa' todos esos males. Y soy un pro para esos desembales. Desembales. Para esos desembales. Desembales. Y soy un pro para esos desembales. Ella quiere farra, farra, farra. Farra, farra, farra. Ella quiere farra, farra, farra. Ella está soltera, no tiene alguien que la amarra. Farra, farra, farra. Farra, farra, farra. Ella quiere farra, farra, farra. Ella está soltera, no tiene alguien que la amarra. Siento que tú y yo sentimos lo mismo. Nos ha cuadrado como si fuera algoritmo. Te vuelves loca cuando escuchas mi ritmo. Ella se lo canta como si fuera un himno. Ella quiere farra, farra, farra. Farra, farra, farra. Ella quiere farra, farra, farra. Ella está soltera, no tiene alguien que la amarra. Farra, farra, farra. Farra, farra, farra. Ella quiere farra, farra, farra. Ella está soltera, no tiene alguien que la amarra.
Solo un rayo del sol cambia el tiempo en el reloj. Hoy mis deudas reciben perdón. Pago por el show. Me siento feliz porque si no soy yo, pues quién. Todos caen a mi lado. No lo arranqué. Me siento feliz porque yo no dudo mi power. Te burlaste de mí, se acabó. Trata de festejar, celebramos el bienestar. Tantas estrellas brillan, quiero un carro que corra más. Nada me rompe, no, no, nada me rompe. Trata de festejar, celebramos el bienestar. Tantas estrellas brillan y Marte me espera mientras rodea. Nada me rompe, no, no, nada me rompe. Tantas estrellas brillan, quiero un carro que corra más. Traigo un fin y después fumo un cabo de cigarette. Me pierdo en la ciudad, ha llegado mi tiempo ya. Voy a vivir porque si yo no soy yo, pues quién. Todos caen a mi lado, los frenos los arranqué. Me siento feliz porque vivo mi vida centrado. Te burlaste de mí, se acabó. Trata de festejar, celebramos el bienestar. Tantas estrellas brillan, quiero un carro que corra más. Nada me rompe, no, no, nada me rompe. Trata de festejar, celebramos el bienestar. Tantas estrellas brillan y Marte me espera mientras rodea. Nada me rompe, no, no, nada me rompe. Quiero un carro que corra más. A veces yo soy yo voy a ser otro yo. A veces yo soy yo voy a ser otro yo. Los frenos los arranqué, el riesgo me cae bien. Los frenos los arranqué, el riesgo me cae bien. A veces yo soy yo voy a ser otro yo. A veces yo soy yo voy a ser otro yo. Los frenos los arranqué, el riesgo me cae bien. Los frenos los arranqué, el riesgo me cae bien. Trata de festejar, celebramos el bienestar. Tantas estrellas brillan, quiero un carro que corra más. Nada me rompe, no, no, nada me rompe. Trata de festejar, celebramos el bienestar. Tantas estrellas nada me rompe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Carried all the weight on my shoulder. Had me going ever once I told you no. Told you no. Kept going like a marching soldier. Play my part, boy, I had to hold you down. Hold it down. When the tidal waves come around and wipe off what we built, would you fight for love or would you back down and let our hope drown? When the world is everything to break us up for good, would you hang around? When all we got right now, tell me how you feel about us. Yeah, yeah. Tell me how you feel about us. Yeah, yeah.
Cuando esas caricias tocaban toda tu piel. Tell me how you feel about us. Tell me how you feel about us. Yeah, soñé que me querías, pero no es cierto. Solo lo haces pa' que yo esté contento. La chispa de la llama se apagó lento. Cambiamos mentiras por juramentos. Sabía todo de ella, pero ahora ya no lo sé. Siempre has estado tan bella, pero has cambiado,
When the
mujer.
tidal waves come around and wipe off what we built, would you fight for love or would you back down and let our hope drown?
Siendo que ya no te tengo, o al menos yo no tu amor. No, no, no.
Tell me how you feel about us. Yeah, yeah. Tell me how you feel about us. Yeah, yeah.
Cuando esas caricias tocaban toda tu piel. Tell me how you feel about us. Tell me how you feel about us.
Through the night and day, I keep on falling for you. I keep on falling for you. Through the night and day, I keep on falling for you. I keep on falling. Tell me how you feel about us. Yeah, yeah. Tell me how you feel about us. Yeah, yeah.
Cuando esas caricias tocaban toda tu piel. Tell me how you feel about us. Tell me how you feel about us.
No voy a negarte, no. La primera vez que tú me la hiciste, baby, quería matarme, yeah. Pero ahora no, El problema fue amarte, yeah. Sabiendo que no sientes nada y no sabes querer. No sabes querer. Esta es mi despedida. Vete con el que te hundía. Suerte que ya no eres mía. Yo ya no te aguanto, no. Esta es mi despedida. Vete con el que te hundía. Suerte que ya no eres mía. Yo ya no te aguanto, no. Lo peor es que te hagan creer que es de verdad, pero no, no lo es. Antes lo dudaba, ahora no. Y dice que quieres mi mano. Lo feo es ver que te hice más fuerte de lo que quise. Solo hay nubes grises. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tranqui que eso se me pasa. Que yo ando chilling en casa. Que lo que quiero te pasa. Más de nivel. Esta es mi despedida. Vete con el que te hundía. Suerte que ya no eres mía. Yo ya no te aguanto, no. Esta es mi despedida. Vete con el que te hundía. Suerte que ya no eres mía. Yo ya no te aguanto, no. Lo siento. Vas a pagar por todo
todo lo que has hecho y con interés pa' que sientas lo que siento. Ya sabemos tu corazón estrecho, que es que no lo cabe ni siquiera un sentimiento. Un sentimiento y ella se cree la crema porque está tan bella. Como una estrella se estrella cuando la dejan de querer. Tranqui que eso se me pasa, que yo ando chilling en casa. Que lo que quiero te pasa, más de ni idea. Esta mi despedida, vete con el que te hundía. Suerte que ya no eres mía, yo ya no te aguanto, no. Esta mi despedida, vete con el que te hundía. Suerte que ya no eres mía, yo ya no te aguanto, no. No voy a negarte, no. La primera vez que tú me la hiciste, baby, quería matarme, pero ahora no. El problema fue amarte, sabiendo que no sientes nada y no sabes querer, no sabes querer.
I had to finish that sentence. I don't know if you've ever had the experience before, but when you're outlining a story, like I just had an epiphany moment there a while ago, 2 of them actually, and something just comes to you and it's, yes, total sense, yes. A light goes off, the aha moment, the midpoint of the story. the aha moment. And it is realized in reality on paper. So now I have an outline, basic. I still need to clean this up, but I have the stake poles of my circus tent under which the entire circus, the story will happen. All the players are in place. I have placeholders for their names. I need to develop. I have the character attributes, but I don't have their names, and I don't have their. I still need some background story for both of the love interest, if you will, the man and the woman, and there are some kids involved in this story as well. But I need to develop these characters. So that's going to be tomorrow night. I'm going to start. So I have the tent poles. I have the end. I have the beginning. I have the midpoint. I have the beginning of the plot twist. I'm going to flesh that out. I think that will come when I write the story, but I have what I think are the tent poles in place. Now I need to develop the characters, and I need to develop their backstory, the man, the woman, the antagonist, who I have also have an idea, who is in my outline. You love it when a plan comes together. I mean, writing is fun. When you have epiphanies and you can think about it, it's fun to write and think about things and take a character, take a story and tell a story and develop it and know where you're going, know the destination. Anyhow, I guess that's all I have for tonight. I think that's 3 sessions of 20 minutes each. I want to thank you if you watched this tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to do character development. I'm going to do the man character development tomorrow. And maybe the following day I will do the female character development of my female lead of this story. And then I have a following antagonist character development to do. So I'm taking my time. I want to write this. I want to do quality, not quantity. I've said that before. That's my goal, is I want to write a good story with a good message, with something that uplifts, with something with hope, with something that gives people something that they can, something that helps them in their life. And I think helping in your life is, and when I say that, I don't mean how to do something. I mean emotionally supportive. It's okay. It will be okay. And with that, I guess I just want to say thank you for joining me. And I will see you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, Texas. I'm going to do, again, a writing sprint, 3 sessions, 20 minutes each. I'm going to do character development of the person, the man who I want to be in this story. See you then.